From NBC News, a pregnant migrant's harrowing journey and struggle to settle in the U.S. Alexis Alvarez and her husband, Johan Jose Medina, I don't know, it seems weird, like maybe they would have the same last name if they were actually married, but I don't know, I'm splitting hairs here. They migrated to the U.S. from Venezuela in December 2023. Oh, they just migrated here? Did they fill out the paperwork? Did they take the test? Did they spend the money? Or did they hop the border illegally and are now trying to drop an anchor baby? Which one is it? Today, they struggle to find work and permanent housing in Chicago as they prepare to welcome their first child. Okay, are there not loads of people, Americans in Chicago, who are also struggling to find work and permanent housing? Don't worry about them. You should throw all of your money at these criminal illegals that are going to drop a baby and then they're going to be set for life. I don't know who this is for, right? I say that all the time. Who are they trying to win over with this? You're trying to win back some of the weirdo green hair lefties that stopped supporting the regime because of this Gaza, Palestine, Israel thing or whatever. I mean, this doesn't make sense. It's only proof that this completely open border strategy, if you can call it that, doesn't work. But my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Because the algorithm is a beast. It would help me a lot if you engage with the content and it would cost you nothing. But if you want to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, go ahead and buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description.
Ahí Samuel, le voy a poner la mano helada.
They're captioning it. She doesn't. Of course, she doesn't speak English, obviously. And then she wonders why, I don't know why I can't get a job or permanent housing. Because you don't even speak the language.
Sentirme. Nunca soñé estar acá.
I never dreamed of being here, she says in Spanish. Of course. Yeah, well, that's fine. Go back. How about this? How about I'll be nice and just say, go back and come through the correct way. But that ship sailed a long time ago, obviously. And we've all made the point, like, does anybody show up legally? It was either USA Today or Newsweek published an article a couple weeks ago about all the new naturalized citizens in California, the suckers who did it the right way, mostly Asians.
En Venezuela, aunque tú trabajabas 2, 3 veces, 3 trabajos, no te daba para poder comer. Tenía 2 trabajos. Yo quería salir adelante, pero no se pudo. Lo que hice fue buscarle una...
Okay, so you were working all those jobs in Venezuela and you couldn't get ahead, so you decided you would break the law and show up here illegally and expect people to give you things immediately?
Mejoría a mi hijo y un futuro, pues. La situación en Venezuela estaba crítica.
Since 2015, Venezuela has faced political and economic instability that has pushed millions into poverty, driving more than...
Oh, well, that's interesting, right? I mean, I don't really care about Venezuela, but you could probably say the same thing for America starting in about, 2021.
7 million people to leave.
Mi esposo pertenecía a un movimiento donde Acción Democrática, donde ellos...
Oh, my husband belonged to the Democratic Action Movement, where they motivated and empowered young people. Of course, that doesn't even really mean anything. Empowered young people. So they're just, I guess they were scam artists in Venezuela. Now they're going to be scam artists here in America.
Motivaba y fortalecían a los jóvenes, a las personas. Estaban saliendo a la gente a la calle para sacar a Maduro.
Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has been in office for over a decade. Some critics have called him an autocrat, and the U.S. State Department has accused his government of suppressing opposition candidates and intimidating political opponents.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. That sounds really corrupt. I can't imagine that would ever happen in America.
Recently, the U.S. reimposed some economic sanctions on Venezuela due to concerns over fair elections.
Para que le darle otra oportunidad a otra persona, ya que el presidente lo que estaba haciendo era que nos estábamos pasando hambre porque ya no el sueldo no nos daba, pues. Imagino que ellos investigaron quién eran las personas que estaban atacando a la gente.
As a result, Alexis Alvarez and her husband Johan Jose Medina say they were threatened.
Oh, Johan. Okay, well, I got it wrong. I was trying to do, the authentic Latine, whatever thing, but his name's Johan, and they still don't explain why they have separate last names.
She says one day their home was attacked by people they believe were Maduro supporters. NBC News couldn't independently verify the details of her story.
Y llegaron a la casa y ahí dispararon. Mi casa dispararon y todo. Y fue cuando yo le dije a mi esposo, ya nosotros no podemos estar acá porque te van a matar. Te van a matar y yo estoy embarazada ya. El otro día buscamos y salimos.
In October 2023, Alexis and Johan left for the U.S. They were joined by Johan's sister and her 3-year-old son. The group spent over 2 months making the journey, including passing through the Darien Gap, a dangerous jungle along the Colombia-Panama border.
Yeah, okay. So you should certainly feel really sorry for these people, okay? But obviously, nowhere in this are they going to say this is totally illegal. They're just going to pretend, they're not going to say they're criminals. I'm going to say they're criminals, but, they made this tough journey, and she has a baby, which obviously she was rushing to get to the United States, so the baby would have citizenship and everything would be all right. And for the record, the Row Hotel in New York is an absolute disgusting baby meal, and they're partying, they're drinking, they're riding around on mopeds, right? And I can only imagine, right? Look, I don't want to be stereotypical, but it's pretty clear that these guys are drinking all day. There's Corona bottles. They're throwing out the food that they were given, and they're dropping anchor babies all over the place. There's one lady, like, with an ear-to-ear grin on her face, knowing that the mission has been accomplished. And I can't say 100% she's from Venezuela, but she was certainly an illegal migrant, right? And it was also very strange that I tried to go into the Row Hotel and they said, you don't belong here. ID? No, was...
You got your, no, I'm talking to someone. You got your ID?
No, I don't have my ID.
All right, there's a shelter. You need to have an ID.
Oh, you can't record in here, please.
Why not?
You can't record in here.
Why?
You're not allowed to record in here. He's recording. You cannot record in here.
What are you doing?
You cannot record in here, brother. Please go.
Why?
You have to get out.
Why not?
You don't belong in here.
Why?
All right, please get out.
So who belongs in here?
Not you.
Imagine that.
Route taken by many migrants heading north. Eventually, they arrived at the U.S. border and were processed by immigration.
Y a mí me sueltan el mismo día y a mi esposo no. Yo lloraba y gritaba.
Johan was detained.
So you showed up there and were angry that they didn't let you and your husband in immediately. I mean, these people are absolute thugs. Who's even teaching them this? It's like some weird NGOs, dare I say, Soros. Like, why would you show up and just expect, you're already going to get free stuff. You're pulling on the heartstrings. Oh, I have a baby. And you're mad that they don't let your husband in illegally this is crazy.
At the border, and Alexis was sent to Chicago alone.
Nosotros acudimos a un autobús del gobierno, sin ropa, sin nada. Cuando llegamos acá nos llevaron.
We came with nothing. We didn't have clothes. So what? Then you should have stayed. What am I missing here? Right? You can't do criminal things and then get mad when people don't immediately bend the knee to you. Right? And you're still getting most everything you want, but just not every single thing. And do you think it's ever going to be enough? Do you think they're going to hand you a mansion and then they're going to hand you a job and you're going to say, I don't like the job? And they're going to say, I want a bigger house. It's never going to be enough.
Llevaron a una policía y la policía nos distribuyó a los refugios. Yo estaba detenido, yo estoy sola, yo estoy embarazada y estoy sola, porque yo estaba sola.
So what?
Y yo ni comía, ni dormía, ni nada. Yo lo que hacía era llorar. Porque vinieron a soltar a mi esposo. 45 días detenido.
Johan finally joined.
And you traversed several countries. You couldn't have stayed in Mexico, where they presumably speak Spanish and would understand exactly what the hell it is you're talking about. Nope, you walked right through there and showed up in Chicago somehow and demanded free stuff.
Alabexis at a shelter in Chicago.
Este cuarto. Esta es una mesita. Aquí tengo las cosas del bebé tapadas. Aquí vemos pañales del bebé. Ya preparados pañales recién nacidos. Aquí es donde yo duermo.
Okay, I guess on second thought now, this is for the awfuls, I suppose. Right? This is for the affluent, white, liberal, wait. I'm screwing it up. The awfuls.
The awfuls, the affluent white female liberals in the Democrat Party.
So they see stuff like this and can't connect the dots, right? So we're just going to make it's going to be a utopia and we're going to help everybody out. I guess that's who this is for, I suppose, right? Because, I mean, the establishment, NBC knows that they're losing them, right? You are losing. You have alienated everybody from the sneakerheads to the gamers to the young people. Everybody has signed out of this nonsense. But the only people left are, I guess, the ones who think Hillary Clinton is amazing. I don't know.
Con mi esposo, es una litera. Acá tengo las cosas.
Yeah, the awfuls will be like, oh, I can't believe they live like this. And then you have the ones up in Massachusetts who say, oh, I love having illegals here because they cook for me. It's like having a personal chef.
It's a delight, and it's really fun having them. What I realized is there's so much prejudice against refugees, mostly because people don't know them.
Lisa says she feels like she has her own personal chef, as Wildande loves cooking. ¿Te gusta la ocupación?
Sí. Aquí duerme la otra familia, que es mi cuñada.
Para saber cuándo nace el bebé.
Sí, cuando nace el
Está
bebé.
pendiente.
Es buena gente, señor. 8 piezas. Gracias.
Every morning, Johan looks for work as a day laborer, but jobs are scarce. Most of their supplies come from donations, and any money he makes, they spend on food.
Le pido a Dios que me dé la oportunidad de tener mi permiso para conseguir un empleo que yo me pueda valer por mí mismo.
You didn't ask that question in any of the countries you traveled through? You didn't ask any of those questions in Mexico? Right? You didn't claim asylum there? And I mean, and now you want to just play the victim through the roof?
Hacer las cosas legalmente. Nosotros vinimos a salir adelante.
Wait. She said they want to do everything legal. They absolutely do not, right? I mean, that's a complete lie.
Jobs are scarce. Most of their supplies come from donations, and any money he makes, they spend on food.
Le pido a Dios que me dé la oportunidad de tener mi permiso para conseguir un empleo que yo me pueda valer por mí mismo.
Hacer las cosas legalmente.
We want to do everything the legal way. That's just absolutely not true, right? You want everything handed to you, and you can't even be bothered to speak broken English? Give me a break.
Nosotros vinimos a salir adelante. Porque para eso vinimos acá a este país. No a hacer el mal.
Migrants apply.
Yeah, we didn't come here to do anything bad. But, okay, that could very well be true. But, unfortunately, you've got a lot of colleagues, cohorts, counterparts who have been absolutely terrorizing Americans. So you guys are all thrown in the same bucket. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. You can't, I mean, well, we're going to just let everybody get a job and give everybody an apartment and then sift through the people who are doing bad things. No, well, that is what we're doing, but we shouldn't be.
Applying for asylum wait at least 6 months for work permits. In late March 2024, President Biden allocated $34 million to fix the work permit backlog.
No. He allocated millions of dollars to shuffle, to literally human traffic these illegals in, and then say, well, we need more workers, right? Who's going to pick the crops, Pelosi says.
The best thing that we can do for our economy is to have comprehensive immigration reform. We have a shortage of workers in our country, and you see even in Florida, some of the farmers and the growers saying, why are you shipping these immigrants up north, we need them to pick the crops down here.
Advocates say the delay forces the asylum seekers to stay in the shelter system instead of becoming self-sufficient.
Wow, they're really going with this. And I guess this is, and I'm in my own little bubble, obviously, and I'm like, how can you be so stupid? But there are really stupid people out there.
And some have criticized the city for paying private companies to shelter migrants. Chicago has already spent nearly $300 million on migrant care since August
2022. Wait. Where did they get that $300 million? You can tell us that?
2022. NBC News reached out to the city for comment, but we didn't hear back.
On April 19th, the Chicago City Council voted 30-18 to approve an additional $70 million to care for criminal aliens. But before the vote, some members of the city council voiced their opposition.
In November, I pleaded and I said right here, we need to pump the brakes on this bus before we go over the financial cliff.
We say, come on to Chicago. We got health care for you. We got child care for you. We got all kind of housing. But if you cut off the funding spigot, they won't come. Good.
On that same day, Alabexis gave birth to a baby boy, right? And in almost any other situation, they would be advocating for murdering the baby all the way up through kindergarten. But now, this is very touching and moving and brave and stunning. And now, boom, this weirdo little lady and her husband have popped out an anchor baby. Mission accomplished as far as they're concerned. This is absolutely wild. And that couple has gamed the system perfectly. They knew exactly what they were doing. They showed up at the perfect time. And now they're complaining that they don't have permanent jobs and housing. But now they got an American kid, and you're going to have to give them maybe not, I don't know. You might get more stuff as an illegal than an American. Who knows? But everything's so corrupt and it's all collapsing that I don't know how we actually fix it. Well, we don't actually fix it. It's not broken as far as the regime is concerned, and they obviously don't care about these people. They're not going to help them. They're going to throw them a couple crumbs and ask for your vote in 10 or 20 years. But in the meantime, you're just going to get a whole bunch of activists and NGOs that are going to give you free stuff. Well, it's free for the illegals, but they're going to take it from actual Americans.